Hello everyone. Delhi is the capital of India. It is an important city of India. But when we look into history, we find that the name Delhi is not mentioned anywhere till the 12th century. Delhi was founded by the Tomara Rajputs in the 12th century. It was named as Delika. It was the capital of the Tomara Rajputs. The Tomara Rajputs were defeated by Chauhans of Ajmer in the mid 12th century and Delhi was captured. Under the Chauhans, Delhi became an important commercial center. It became very prosperous and many merchants settled down in Delhi. They constructed many temples. Later on, coins were minted which were widely circulated and were known as Delhiwal. During this period, Muhammad Ghori, the ruler of Gaur, came to know about the tremendous wealth in India. He wanted to plunder that wealth. He decided to invade India. He attacked various kingdoms in North India. In 1192, in the Battle of Tarain, he defeated Prithviraj Chauhan. Later on, in 1194, he defeated Raja Jayachandra and gathered control over the areas near river Ganga and Yamuna. After conquering all these areas, he plundered all the wealth from here, but he was not interested in ruling these places. He collected wealth and went back to Ghor. While going back to Ghor, he appointed his slave Kutubuddin Aibak as the in charge of his territories. Kutubuddin Aibak efficiently took care of his territories till 1206. In 1206, after Muhammad Ghori's death, Kutubuddin Aibak declared himself as an independent ruler and established the slave dynasty. This was the beginning of Delhi Sultanate. 5 different dynasties ruled during the Sultanate period. Slave dynasty was the first dynasty. Slave dynasty was also known as Mamluk dynasty. Kutubuddin Aibak was the first ruler of the Mamluk dynasty and he ruled from 1206 to 1210. He was a kind-hearted king. He was succeeded by Samshuddin Iltutmish, who ruled from 1210 to 1236. During this period, he further expanded the territory. He was able to stretch his territory up to Bengal by defeating the rulers of these areas. He had many sons, but they were not capable enough to become the ruler. Therefore, he decided to make his only daughter Razia Sultan the next ruler. Razia Sultan came into power in 1236. She ruled from 1236 to 1240. During this period, she had to face a lot of problems. It was because she was not accepted as a ruler by the nobles. The nobles and other important people strongly believed in the ideal social order based on birthright and gender distinction, according to which men and women had social and biological differences and men were superior to women. Therefore, men were supposed to become the rulers. Because of this belief, they didn't accept Razia Sultan as the ruler. They felt it as an insult to accept orders from a woman. Minhaj-e-Siraj, the chronicler of that time, clearly writes that Razia Sultan was more able and qualified than her brothers. But then also he was not comfortable working with Razia Sultan as she was a woman. She was removed from the throne. The period after that was a period of uncertainty. In 1246, Nasiruddin Muhammad, one of the sons of Iltutmish, became the ruler. He ruled from 1246 to 1266. He was not a powerful ruler. He became puppet in the hands of the noble. In 1266, Ghiyasuddin Balban, one of the nobles, took power into his hands. He ruled from 1266 to 1286. He was the most powerful ruler of the slave dynasty. The rulers after him, the successors after him, were not very strong, and finally, in the year 1290, the Khalji captured the throne and started ruling. The first ruler of the Khalji dynasty was Jalaluddin Khalji. He ruled from 1290 to 1296. He realized in the initial period of his reign that there are always chances of attack from the Mongols. Therefore, to pacify the Mongols, he decided to get into an alliance with the Mongols and married a relative of the Mongol leader. He was succeeded by his son Alauddin Khalji. Alauddin Khalji ruled from 1296 to 1316. He was the most powerful ruler of the Khalji dynasty. He expanded the empire to large areas. He adopted various ways to improve agriculture and brought many reforms in the army. After his death, there were no strong successors, and Mubarak Khalji became the next ruler. He ruled from 1316 to 1320. In 1320, the Khalji dynasty came to an end and the power was transferred to the Tughlaq dynasty. Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq was the first ruler of the Tughlaq dynasty. He ruled from 1320 to 1325. He strengthened the Sultanate. He was succeeded by his son Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Muhammad bin Tughlaq ruled from 1326 to 1351. He was a very powerful and brilliant person. He had great ideas and plans, but he didn't know how to implement those plans effectively. And because of this, most of his plans failed. Continuous failure made him infamous among the nobles and the people, and they started opposing Muhammad bin Tughlaq. In 1351, Firoz Shah Tughlaq took power into his hands. He ruled from 1351 till 1388. He further expanded the kingdom and brought many reform plans. The successors of Firoz Shah Tughlaq were not efficient. They could not manage the empire, and the Tughlaq dynasty also came to an end. The fourth dynasty that ruled the Delhi Sultanate was the Sayyid dynasty. It had only 4 rulers, and the first ruler of the Sayyid dynasty was Khizr Khan. He ruled from 1414 to 1421. He was later succeeded by Mubarak Shah, Muhammad Shah and Alauddin Alam Shah. All the 4 dynasties that ruled till this period were of Turkish origin, but in 1451 the Lodi dynasty came into power and they were from the Afghan origin. The first ruler of the Lodi dynasty was Bahlul Lodi. He ruled from 1451 to 1489. He was succeeded by Sikandar Lodi, who ruled till 1517. The last king of the Lodi dynasty was Ibrahim Lodi. Ibrahim Lodi came into power in 1517 and ruled till 1526. In 1526, he was defeated by Babur in the Battle of Panipat, and it was the end of Lodi dynasty as well as the Delhi Sultanate. So we just now saw that there were 5 different dynasties who ruled in the Sultanate period. The first one being the Slave dynasty, second Khalji dynasty, Tughlaq dynasty, Sayyid dynasty and the Lodi dynasty. The sources of information for the Sultanate period are inscription, coins and the monuments built during this period. Many monuments were built during this period. Many mosques were built during this period. These mosques were the places where the people worshipped. These mosques faced towards the west because Makkah, the pilgrim center of Muslims, is towards the western side of India. Another important source of information for this period are the tarikhs. The tarikhs are written by learned people in Persian languages. It is the account of events in the Delhi Sultanate period.